come.
Okay.
Yes? Are they flippers? They're flippers. We on?
Oh, yep.
Looks good. President accounted for. Okay, good evening, everyone. This is the Mayor's Agenda, City of Hannibal Official Council Agenda, Tuesday, July 7, 2020, Council Chambers, 7 p.m. I'd ask the clerk to please call the roll.
Councilmember McCoy.
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Dobson.
Here.
Councilmember Cogdill.
Here.
Mayor Hark.
Here.
Councilmembers Bowen.
Here.
Welch.
Here.
And Beach.
Okay. There being a quorum present, I would call this meeting to order. Councilperson Cogdill, would you do the invocation this evening, please?
Gracious Heavenly Father, Lord, we just thank you for once again allowing us to come together, God, and just to be in your presence, Lord, and to do the business of the city, Lord. We just ask that you would bless us with good decision-making, Lord, and that you would just give us the hearts and the minds to just make the wisest decisions that we can on behalf of the citizens. Lord, we just thank you for the blessings that you're pouring over this community right now. Lord, we ask that you would continue to bless the nation, Lord, as we continue to come out of COVID and everything that's going on, Lord. I just ask that you would just put a hedge of protection over this nation, Lord, and that you just let us rise up to be the strong nation that I know we are. Lord, I thank you for everything you've given us, Lord. I ask that you continue to just pour down onto the community, Lord. Bless the citizens, bless our law enforcement, Father God. Bless all of our departments and our department heads, Lord, and just help us to keep moving forward, Lord, and just let this tough start of the year, Lord, just be behind us very soon, Lord, to where we can get back on our feet, Lord, and get back to serving you and serving to the best of our ability. I ask these things in Jesus' name and for his sake.
Amen.
And Officer Smith, would you lead us in the pledge, please?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much. At this time, I'd like to ask for a motion to excuse Councilman Beach from this evening.
Moved.
Second.
Motion second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's carried. Now need a motion to approve the agenda. It says posted this Tuesday, July 7th.
So moved.
Second.
Motion is second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's carried. Now need a motion to approve the minutes of the Committee of the Whole Council, June the 3rd, 2020, regularly scheduled council meeting of June 16th, 2020, and a special call council meeting of June 25th, 2020.
So moved.
Second.
Motion is second. Any discussion over the minutes? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The motion's carried. I now need a motion to approve the payroll claims for the second half of June 2020.
So moved.
Second.
Motion is second. Any discussion over payroll and claims? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That motion's carried. First item on the agenda now is Mr. Rich Dilley with the Hannibal Public School District number 60.
Well, good evening.
Good evening.
First thing I have for you this evening is for our graduation, which is scheduled for July 17th with a rain date of the 24th. And we have a couple of things. One is requests for street closures for Brookside and at the corner of McMaster's, Greenway and Edgewood, and that's just kind of how we do things every year. The second part of that is something really special. This class has had an interesting senior year, and we are asking for the permission to work with Fireworks Authority out of Quincy to discharge fireworks at the conclusion of the commencement ceremony. I would be happy to answer any questions that you may have.
Wow, no questions?
The fire department saw no problem with it, so I'll make a motion to approve.
Second. The motion is second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's carried unanimously.
All right, well, thank you for that, and thank you for the parade. I think we have a couple of traditions that just got started.
Well, and I believe, I'm not sure, that this senior class probably holds the record on senior skip day.
I think they do, yeah. What, March 17th through.
Yeah.
So,
And 100% participation.
they really did,
Yeah.
including my kids. The second thing that I have for you this evening, and again, I thank you for allowing me to come and address you. This summer, we're finishing up the second part of the bond issue from 2019. And so we're finishing up the HVAC, electrical, and some safety upgrades at Hannibal Middle School, at Corf Gymnasium, and then finishing up at the Hannibal High School. And like last year, those permit fees are going to be about $62,000 in just round numbers. And I'm here again to request a 50-50 split like last year, and then less the fees that Klinger would have as well. So again, really appreciate all of this, and I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Does this air condition all your buildings now?
This will be all of the buildings with the exception of a couple of the outlying buildings, like the we would call the H building, or some of the
The highway department, the old highway department
that one,
building?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And we have some units that we'll put in to comfort those rooms, but this would be water source heat pumps in school, just like we have in high school.
A lot different than when I was in school.
In all honesty, I never thought I'd live to see it, so.
Well, the front of the building, I know the contractors weren't probably very fun to work with, but the front of that building looks fantastic.
The high
The
school.
windows,
You know, some contractors were better than others.
yeah, I'm sure.
But I think we could say we're all pleased with
looks
the
so
outcome so
nice.
far.
It looks so nice.
So is there a motion to approve this request?
So moved.
Second.
Motion is second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's carried.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Appreciate what you're doing. Okay, council, now under my name, recommendation of appointment to the Marion County Extension Council for a first reading, Rob Myers, appointment for a term to expire March of 2022. There's no roll call on this. Rob Myers is a American Family agent based in Palmyra, but is a resident of Hannibal, and has served here in the Hannibal community, and when born, raised, and went to school and graduated from our high school, so has pretty much the history of Hannibal under his belt. Like I say, no roll call at this time. I'll bring it back for a second reading at the next meeting. And that's everything I have. Now we have Alan Bowen, council member, 4th Ward.
Thank you, Mayor. I'll just read my memo that I had put into the agenda. Booker Street, which is in the 4th Ward, is one of the smallest two-way driving streets with parking on both sides in Hannibal. Most of the homes were built 75 plus years ago, during a time when most families had one vehicle per household. Now, with most families having multiple vehicles, it makes fewer on-street parking spots. With little off-street parking on the east side of Booker Street and an alley that only supports 3 homes on the west side, all parking is crucial. In most areas, the actual street is only 23 to 26 foot wide, curb to curb. The curb to sidewalk is almost 2 foot, giving an extra 4 foot in some places when adding to the initial 23 and 26. For example, I measured 10 foot, 5 inches from the tire of my personal truck that was parked on the curb to a tire of a car that was parked on the street. This is the normal distance all throughout Booker Street. Some residents currently park on the curb, however, most do not. If everyone on Booker Street were to park on the street, police, fire, and EMS would be virtually cut off from 17 houses in the 15 to 1600 block, causing the necessity of these essential services to find a new path to the homes located further down Booker Street, which account for an additional 17 homes. A simple suggestion, instead of cutting and pouring new curbing and relocating utilities, would be to require residents on Booker Street to park on the curb and or as close to the sidewalk as possible, with impeding sidewalk accessibility. The low cost of signage greatly outweighs any other option. Changing Booker Street to one-way to cure the traffic flow is not viable, as this would force residents and school buses to travel down Ann Street to Sierra during the winter. Ann Street is extremely steep, and this is also how residents on Martin Street are forced to travel with their street access being restricted. There is simply not enough room for fire engines, patrol cars, or even residents' vehicles to travel through Booker Street in a safe manner, and I would request the council to grant this request to require on-curb parking along Booker Street.
This question for council, how do we go about something like that?
So you can do it. Put in the signage and do it. I mean, they're your ordinances. You have the right to vary ordinances as you wish. I don't think this is the type of thing where you're going to need to draft an ordinance, or even probably should draft an ordinance. This is probably more in the nature of a variance, and it's being suggested for safety reasons. So I think those safety reasons are within your general police power, and I think all you would need to do is direct the street department to install a signage.
So would there be penalties for not parking on the curb?
That was my question. I don't know.
Chief's not here.
Have you talked to the citizens up and down your
Yes.
street,
Yeah.
Alan? Like what?
I did last year, I think, and I went to traffic committee, and I had a handwritten petition that I done and everything, and is it in there too?
And it was connected.
Yeah, most of the people were okay with it.
To me, this is just like when we make a street one-side parking.
Right.
It's, a lax on enforcement type of situation until people get the hang of it. But I like the idea because there is literally no way for me to get up and down that street sometimes.
Are the curbs there relatively low?
On
other words,
the
you know-
east side of Booker Street, they are.
'Cause you
But
see
the
them
other
on
side,
wheels.
they're kind of high, and it would require retaining walls. If we cut them out, it'd be a lot. There's poles in some spots of the little sidewalk area there, and for the curbing and things like that. So I feel this is the easiest way without spending a ton of money up there.
And obviously, what the council grants, the council can rescind as well if we see it becomes a problem
Right,
or
right.
it doesn't
Right.
work.
Right.
Then obviously, but I think, we're in a situation where we need to attempt to do something anyway.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Obviously, we
and
don't have the funds to build a new street.
right. And I've driven vehicles through there in an emergency mode and just a regular motor vehicle going through, you're close on both sides.
Yep.
I know, and I would hate to
School buses, all of it.
be
all
the
of it.
person driving fire apparatus or even an ambulance going through. I
Right.
don't see how it happens.
Right.
Snowplow.
That too.
Okay. Yeah, how many mirrors do we buy? Okay.
But right.
Right.
That as it was proposed to me, it was, is it permissible to allow people to do this? And my answer is absolutely, it's within the council's purview to do so. In regards to requiring them to park, as you pointed out, this would not require anyone to park on the curbs.
It wouldn't
If
be
that's
penalized,
something
it just-
you feel the need to do, you probably would need to draft an appropriate ordinance. My concern about that, quite frankly, is how you're going to decide where you're going to do that. Are we going to do that with some type of special street zoning? It becomes very, very problematic if your desire is to force people to park on the curb. I think at that point, we probably need to take it off the agenda and we need to revisit it. We need to figure out exactly what you're going to do and where you're going to have it done, and et cetera, et cetera. And I can do that, but
So
Why don't we keep it simple?
would you just suggest a sign that says that parking is permitted on the curb?
that's what I would suggest.
That would keep it simple. And look, if someone chooses not to,
Right.
Yeah, and I don't expect the police officers to go up there and fine people.
Right.
I mean, this is more of a courtesy.
it's a courtesy option
Yeah,
and
oh no,
preventing them.
please, if you want your house to have firefighters at it reasonably, please park on the curb.
We're allowing this, we're giving you the opportunity type thing, and you won't be penalized for doing it.
Right.
Right.
Or not. And looking at your list here, it looks like if it's permitted, that most will take you up, take us up on the opportunity, which if you have, if you don't, will still open up the street, hopefully.
Right.
You know, at least, what'd you say, 2 foot, at least 2 foot. So, I agree.
Any amount is good.
Yeah.
Okay, so at this point, I'm looking for a motion.
I'll make the motion
I'll second.
What's the motion?
to put the signage up.
Second, signage for the voluntary. Any discussion?
Just one quick comment. I think long-term though, I think what we look at our, not something maybe this year, but maybe look at what it's going to cost to do this, to get the proper fit. It's not a simple project.
It's the Band-Aid right now.
It's not going to go away. At some point in time, that road's going to be made. We might look at doing an expansion. That might be something we look at least engineer's estimate next.
So you'll make note of that?
Yeah.
Okay. So there's a motion and a second. Is there any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's carried.
Thank you.
Councilman Bowen, I guess, if you would like to get with Andy and see when they can develop
Okay.
said signage and then can help spread the word.
Sounds great.
Okay. Next item on the agenda is our city manager, Lisa Peck. It looks like you have a list.
I do.
Okay.
I have several recommendations for appointments before you this evening. For Planning and Zoning Commission, it's reappointment of Barry Louderman for a term to expire in June of 2023. For Sue Giroux, it's reappointment for a full term. She fulfilled the term of,
Tom Bolt?
yes, thank you. I totally blanked on it. I'm sorry. So this would be her first full term. And then for planning, should I wait or?
Those two are which they'll vote on tonight.
Okay.
And the next ones are recommendations. so-
okay.
So that's for a second reading. Is there a motion to approve those two?
So moved.
Second.
Motion is second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's carried. Now to your next one.
Okay. So then planning and zoning of Brad Walden for a term to expire in June of 2024. Mr. Oh my gosh, I'm totally on name tonight. That's it. Mike Kettlecamp wants to step down from planning and zoning and also from the Historic District Development Commission. And so in his place, Brad Walden has agreed, because there has to be someone from the Historic Development Commission on the Planning and Zoning Commission. He has agreed to be that person. And so the appointment would be of him basically for a full term, because it's to expire in June of 2024.
And
I
that's
should have
for-
brought my reading.
And that's for a first reading tonight.
Yes, correct.
Okay. And
Park and
Word.
Recreation Board. All right, Andy. Mr. Turner. Okay, I'll go with that. Reappointment for a term to expire in July of 2023. Casey Welch, reappointment of a term to expire in July of 2023. Louis Riggs, appointment for a term to expire in July 2023.
Those are all for a first reading.
Yep,
Now your next one's the HDDC.
correct. And then to fulfill the remainder of the term of Mr. Kettlecamp, I would like to put forth Roy Hark, I'm sorry. I know better. I can't see anything. I forgot my reading glasses, and so I'm
There
like,
you go.
okay. So I'm like, oh my goodness, this is so much better.
Ray's a pretty shady character.
I know. I'm sorry. I know better. It's truly my apologies. Roy Hart, appointment for a term to expire May of 2021.
That's for a first reading.
Yes. And then for Board of Public Works, appointment of William Dees. So his is a reappointment, but this would be his first full term as he was filling the remainder of the term vacated by Rosencrantz, Mr. Rosencrantz.
And that's for a first reading as well. So
Yes.
all those first readings will come back at the next regularly scheduled meeting for a vote of the council. And so then your next item.
Okay. So the next item is the authorization to sign the agreement with Northeastern Missouri Sheltered Workshop doing business with Two Rivers Industries. Two Rivers Industries was the only submittal for the RFP for the recycling. The RFP went out on June 17th of 2020. The proposals were due June 26th of 2020. It's before you. The contract to be awarded on or about tomorrow, and the contract is scheduled to start August 1st. We are currently collecting money in July for the payment for the August commencement date. However, we have absolutely no control over whether or not the workers are allowed to return to rivers. They are governed by two different agents, special population, and we are following the referendum and hoping that that we will move forward about, but this is utterly 100% out of.
Have they give you any update or any indication on where or how they're going to make a decision?
Well, they don't, it's not up to them. Basically, from what the director of the facility, she was here for the bid opening, what she said was that the two agencies that oversee her workforce population basically closed down their group homes like they did with nursing homes, and they were not allowed to come in. From what she said, one of the agencies had given the okay back to work on or about August. The other one, they were still working. But there's a misconception out there that the city is somehow responsible for them not being open right now, and that is not. It is COVID.
There'll be resolution 2276-20 to follow, and if there's more items to discuss, we can do it at that time. Is that the end of your report then?
Yes.
Okay. Next item is Karen Burdett, Director of Finance.
Good evening, Mayor, Council. My first item is a resolution amending this past fiscal year budget. This is the fourth amendment. It's a supplemental resolution. The annex building that we have that General Mills leases used to be Manchester Tank. The project, which we had a budget amendment earlier for, was for the contractor's work. We had some in-house work that we didn't get the bills until just June. And so it totaled $24,200 over what the amended budget was. So I'm asking for that appropriation. The second one is the levee pump gate needed repair. This last spring, there again, it just came through, and it was $4,700 more than the budget of $3,600. So that is also a supplemental budget appropriation. So there is a resolution to follow. Question? Okay. Second item is again with General Mills. So they had the project for the rail car extension, and it is complete, and the entire amount of capital project was $235,331. Per the agreement, this was going to be, we were going to reimburse General Mills by reducing their lease payments for the remainder of the lease, which is 7.5 years. So beginning this month, the reduction is going to be $2,615 per month for the remainder. And this is a third amendment to the lease, and their attorney drew up the amendment. And so I'm asking for you to approve the mayor to enter into this lease agreement, this amended lease agreement. And this amount is what was budgeted then. Any questions?
Yes. Yep, we looked at it. Nope.
Heartburn. Okay,
It's in line with what we had done before. It's just a modification as to what we had discussed, so.
very good. That's what I like to hear.
Okay, thank you.
Karen, thank you. Andy Dorian, Director of Central Services and all things encompassed.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Got several things tonight.
Let's say.
We are asking to declare surplus 3 items. One is our 2001 cat wheel loader. It's seen some better days, but it's still valuable. Our 2017 Falcon. This was a truck mount asphalt recycler is what we use to do saw cut repairs. What we have found is a pull-behind trailer frees up a truck, which we need to haul water from landfill. And so it makes it significantly easier to do that. So we want to surplus this. It's still of value. We hope to get a good return on that. And the last is a small stone asphalt roller that hasn't been used in quite some time down there. So the Falcon and the small stone asphalt roller we plan to put on Gov deals, which is an avenue we've used before. The cat wheel loader we will put out for sealed bids. We have spoken to the local dealers that Caterpillars, the John Deeres, they are interested in this piece of equipment. So we'll work with Angel and get that out for bid this week. So,
Is there a motion to declare the surplus property for the sale of the street department equipment?
So moved.
Second.
Motion is second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's carried.
next we have we opened bids for the front end wheel loader to replace the 2001 wheel loader. We had the 3 bids with a low bid of Martin Equipment at $138,500. That is a John Deere wheel loader.
Is there a motion to approve the bid to Martin Equipment?
So moved.
Second.
Motion is second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's carried. Your next item, Andy.
I should add the front end loader and the street sweeper. Part of that is being funded through the USDA grant that we had received earlier, which is going to cover $150,000. So that's a good thing.
Absolutely.
Next item we have is the street sweeper. We recently went out for bid, same time as the wheel loader. We received 2 bids with the low bid of $199,783 from Key Equipment for an Elgin Room Badger. Not to be confused with the Elgin Bear.
Okay. Is this one better?
Bear is bigger, but very much more.
You
I
say
learned
that-
more about street sweepers than I ever knew.
You say that 3 more times.
Yeah, I know.
So is the Badger more fierce?
Okay.
The Badger is smaller and fits in tighter areas like Booker Street.
It'll work better in residential neighborhoods.
Yeah.
Good.
Motion to approve the bid.
Second.
Motion and second. Any discussion? And my one discussion point be delivery time.
Yes, please.
Soon. Both of them. The wheel loader, we were told possibly 30 days. The street sweeper, less than 2 months.
Okay.
We'll know more tomorrow, but they seem to indicate soon. So I think they would have loved to have already ordered it, but we said hold off until.
It won't be soon enough.
Yeah. The other one is still out running around. But once this gets out, we'll actually have 2 until the other one completely goes out.
Right.
Something I would like to add, these things do have GPS, so we have the ability to monitor it. We have to turn that into the Board of Public Works every month for MS4, so we do track it. And anybody is curious on where it goes, we will be more than happy to share that information anytime.
We know that it'll just stay in one area.
Exactly. That's
Let's just put that out there. I'm going to say it. Okay. Any other discussion? Hearing none. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's carried.
Okay, last is just some clarification on some paperwork from a couple weeks ago. We need to amend the contracts for sale of real estate with Sheraton Valley. 2 of the contracts had said it was $8,000 in trade. We actually are switching that to $8,000 in cash, $16,000 in cash instead of $16,000 in trade with Sheraton Valley. And the other one is just amends legal wording.
Cash is always better than trade.
Yes.
That's Resolution 2269-20 to follow.
All I got.
That's all you have?
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
So you'll be ordering that equipment tomorrow?
We will do it first thing in the morning.
Very good. Gail Bryant, Director of HCVB.
Mayor, City Council, several items this evening. First thing is media buys, requesting approval for a bid waiver for our media buys. Last year, the state contracted with a new vendor, and we, at that time, decided to wait and let them build up their performance record. And with everything going on this year, it's still, it's not a long history. And so with the unprecedented times, we would just like to focus on our current marketing plan that we used. And so just would like council approval to, again, use the vendors, some of the vendors. It won't be all of the vendors, but we will go up to the line item of $75,000. But yet, it's not for certain because we're still just weighing out the market.
Sure.
So it's really a touch and go thing. So this really gives us some leadway to the right thing.
You're requesting latitude to do this based on the circumstances we're in and staying within the line item.
Right.
Motion
So moved.
Second.
Motion is second. Any discussion? None. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's carried.
Thank you. The second item is signage for our new office building. There is not a visitor sign situated on the east side of our new building. And so went out, and in order for it to look identical to the other side, we went out, we got prices, but it was decided and recommended by the board to use the same vendors that put the sign on the west side. And so we're asking the bid waiver, and came in with an estimate of $16,000.
Would you really need one on the east side? They're leaving town then.
Well, I know. But so many people have mentioned that there's no signage on that, so I think it'd be just,
Yeah, I've noticed it.
I think it looks the right thing to do.
Most of the people at the pool already know what that is, so.
Yes. And we have a lot of interest, so.
Okay, so the purpose of the waiver is because you're wanting to use this specific vendor that was utilized on the sign on the other side, so we have continuity between the signs, right?
Right.
Make a motion to approve.
Motion is second. Any discussion?
Who is that vendor?
One is classic signs, then the electric would be Jansen Electric.
Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's carried.
Okay, next item is something we've been waiting for a while. Sale of our city-owned property located at 505 North 3rd. I'm here this evening to ask for your approval to allow the mayor to sign the contract and any other documents to sell our old.
It'll be resolution 2266-20 to follow. Your next item.
Next. Final is something that we do every year with the Missouri Division of Tourism. We submit a grant for our marketing, and we have been approved for up to $50,000. So I'd like to ask council approval to allow the mayor to sign the application, partner with the state. Something that we have been doing the last 9 years.
And that'll be resolution 2267-20 to follow. That's it?
That's it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Gail. E.D. Grotman, DPW Management Assistant, next.
The night of
Good
lists.
evening, Mayor, Council. I too have several items for the meeting tonight.
Did y'all save up or what?
Okay.
You are going to take turns reading. We're going to work on this as a team.
Okay.
Team Building 101.
Okay. My first item
Yeah,
is
good.
to set a public hearing for the August 4th council meeting at 6:15. First property is
Says second. August 4th? Okay, let's make that correction. Continue, I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. Property is owned by Mr. Ben Hickman. He has a 9.9 acre tract located on County Road 10, River Road. He is going to annex in a portion of that. The lot itself is 23 acres, but he's going to annex in 9.9 acres of that property. Coming to planning and zoning on July 16th, first public hearing, and then to council from there on that one.
Is there a motion to approve the public hearing for Tuesday, August 4th, 2020?
Second.
Motion second, any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's carried. Looks like you have another one.
The next one will be at 6:30 on August 4th. This property at 1200 Clark Street. This is actually city-owned property. We inherited this property, or purchased this property, I guess is a better term, from Marion County trustee. We just need to bring it into the city now that it is city-owned property. It too will go to planning and zoning on July 16th for its first public hearing, and then back to council from there.
Motion.
Motion approved.
Second.
Motion second, any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's carried.
My last public hearing for that night will be at 6:45. This will be for Robinson Cemetery. It is being brought in by the descendants of the Robinson family and those buried in the Robinson Cemetery. That is the applicants of the cemetery that is bringing it in. It will also go to planning and zoning July 16th and then back to council from there.
Motion to approve the setting of this public hearing.
Motion.
Second.
And a second, any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's carried.
My next one is for the property at 314 South 7th. This is a property that burned in January of 2020. It was put on our building commission list. It has gone through the entire process and is now sitting on pending demo. The owner of the property, which is Jacob Jordan, has asked to donate it to the city. He does not have any insurance on the property, and he does not have the funds to tear down the property. So he basically has signed it over to the city. He just gave it away. So we have he has signed everything over to us. So basically, we're going to tear it down, and it's our property. So yeah, we'll tear it down and clean it up, and hopefully eventually we'll be able to sell the lot and put it back on the taxes for someone to develop.
That'll be a resolution 2270-20 to follow. Next one.
The next one is the same situation. This one is at 514 Pine. This property is owned by Shannon May. It too burned in January of 2020. This one, there actually was an insurance check. The city has received it, and we have actually already demolished this property. Just demolished within a week or so. So we cleaned up the property. We have seeded and strawed it. The check's probably been deposited at this point, but it's the same thing. She signed it over. She has no desire to maintain anything with it. So we will do the same thing. We'll maintain the lot and hopefully be able to sell it to somebody and get it back on the tax roll.
That's resolution 2271-20 to follow. Your next one.
Okay, the next one is 1214 Lion. It is owned by a Don Godley. This house is kind of different. We don't have it on any building commission list. Taxes are caught up on it and everything. But he came into us about 3 weeks ago and asked to give it to the city. He said that the house is starting to become in a dilapidated state. Going forward, he does not have the funds to keep maintaining it and asked to give it to the city. So we kind of did the same thing with the last two. He signed a contract giving it to the city. And going forward, we will do one of two things. We'll either put it on building commission and go through the process, or try to find someone that is in the rehab business to take it over and
Put it in their hands.
put it in their hands to really bring it back to life.
Has the building inspector looked at it?
He has not. That was
Okay.
said that we
I just was wondering if it was a possible rehab.
Mike Murphy has been there because it was there was an issue at one time. Mike has been in it and said that it wasn't bad when he was in there, but it's been about a year and a half since he's been there. Looking at it outside, it doesn't appear to be structurally or in a bad, unsafe state,
Mhm.
but so we
Right.
There will be a resolution to follow for that as well. Your next one.
Okay, shifting gears, the next property is 1101 Sierra. This is actually a city-owned lot. It was one that we acquired from the Marion County trustee. We have actually been approached by Jason and Wendy Utterback. They own the two lots next door at 1103 and 1105. They would like to purchase this lot from the city since they own the two lots next door. They wish to purchase this lot and then take their three lots and do a minor subdivision, combine them, and then build a shed on the lots. So James drafted up a special warranty deed that says that we're willing to sell our lots. We have no use for the lot itself. So they're going to purchase the lot for $500, and then they have signed a contract that if they don't keep it mowed, maintained, and pay the taxes on it, then the city has the right to take it back.
Okay. Be a resolution following that as well. Next item.
Same thing with the next one. It's 1019 Valley. This too is a city lot. It is looking to be purchased by a Mark Blackwell. He owns the neighboring lot, which is addressed weird. It's 1023-110709 Valley. He's purchased everything around him, and it's just been combined all together. He wants to do the same thing. He wants to do a minor, and just keep adding to his property. The same deal was offered to him, $500 plus the special warranty deed contract.
Okay. And your last item.
Last but not least, the last one is 2301-1A Spruce. Georgia Sherman and her nephew Caleb Nelson live across the street. They would like to purchase the empty lot known as the Spruce address. They just want to have it for the empty space. They don't have a yard where they live at. It's very rocky behind their home. So they just wanted to have a place to be able to play for her grandchildren and her family. Kind of thought it was not normal since it wasn't next to her, but land is one of those things that once it's gone, it's gone. So same thing, we offered it to her for $500 plus the mow, maintain, keep taxes paid deal. And fine. Yes.
I have a resolution to follow on that as well. So these properties are obviously ones the city owned, don't have a use for other than turning it back into adjoining properties or useful space for the neighbors.
Correct.
So
Correct.
we're not in the business of owning property, so that's good. Any questions at this point? Okay, Edie, thank you.
Thank you so much.
All right. Now have before us bill number 20-017. I need a motion to have the clerk give this bill a second and final reading. Call roll for adoption.
Motion.
Second.
Motion second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Bill number 20-017, an ordinance approving the fiscal year 2020-2021 budget and appropriating to the various departments, boards, commissions, and agencies of the city government of the city of Hannibal, Missouri for fiscal year ending June 30th, 2021. Second and final reading. Councilmember McCoy?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Dobson?
Yes.
Councilmember Cogdill?
Yes.
Mayor Hark?
Yes.
Councilmembers Bowen?
Yes.
And Welch?
Yes.
I declare bill number 20-017 duly approved and adopted on this day. We now have bill 20-018. I need a motion to have the clerk give this bill a second and final reading. Call the roll for adoption.
So moved.
Second.
Motion second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's carried.
Bill number 20-018, an ordinance to pay officers and employees of the city of Hannibal, Missouri for fiscal year 2020-2021. Second and final reading. Councilmember McCoy?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Dobson?
Yes.
Councilmember Cogdill?
Yes.
Mayor Hark?
Yes.
Councilmembers Bowen?
Yes.
And Welch?
Yes.
Declare bill number 20-018 duly approved and adopted on this day. We now have resolution number 2266-20. Need a motion to have the clerk read this resolution and call the roll for adoption.
So moved.
Second.
Motion is second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Resolution number 2266-20, a resolution of the City of Hannibal authorizing the mayor to execute the contract for the sale of real estate, special warranty deed, and any subsequent closing documents for the sale of city-owned property located at 505 North 3rd, Hannibal, Missouri, in the amount of $70,000 to the Good Hill Company, LLC. Councilmember McCoy?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Dobson?
Yes.
Councilmember Cogdill?
Yes.
Mayor Hark?
Yes.
Councilmembers Bowen?
Yes.
And Welch?
Yes.
I declare resolution 2266-20 duly approved and adopted on this day. We now have resolution 2267-20. I need a motion to have the clerk read this resolution. Call the roll for adoption.
Motion.
Second.
Motion is second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's carried.
Resolution number 2267-20, a resolution of the City of Hannibal authorizing the mayor to accept the Missouri Division of Tourism Grant Award in an amount up to $50,000 and execute any subsequent documents on behalf of Councilmember McCoy,
Yes.
Dobson,
Yes.
Councilmember Cogdill,
Yes.
Mayor Hark,
Yes.
Councilmembers Bowen,
Yes.
and Welch.
Yes.
Declare resolution 2267-20 duly approved and adopted on this day. We now have resolution 2268-20. I need a motion to have the clerk read this resolution. Call the roll for adoption.
So moved.
Second.
Motion is second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's carried.
Resolution number 2268-20, a resolution of the City of Hannibal amending the fiscal year 2019-2020, number 4, budget by authorizing supplemental appropriation to increase revolving loan General Mills Annex capital project and increase downtown TIF capital equipment. Councilmember McCoy,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Dobson,
Yes.
Councilmember Cogdill,
Yes.
Mayor Hark,
Yes.
Councilmembers Bowen,
Yes.
and Welch.
Yes.
Declare resolution 2268-20 duly approved and adopted on this day. We now have resolution 2269-20. I need a motion to have the clerk read this resolution. Call the roll for adoption.
So moved.
Second.
Motion is second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's carried.
Resolution number 2269-20, a resolution authorizing the mayor to execute revised contracts for the sale of real estate, special warranty deeds, and closing documents regarding the sale of 3 tracts of real property by the City of Hannibal to Sheraton Valley Communications in the total amount of $26,000. Councilmember McCoy? Mayor Pro Tem Dobson?
Yes.
Councilmember Cogdell?
Yes.
Mayor Hart?
Yes.
Councilmembers Bowen
Yes.
and Welch.
Declare Resolution 2269-20 duly approved and adopted on this day. We now have Resolution 2270-20. I need a motion to have the clerk read this resolution, call the roll for adoption.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's carried.
Resolution number 2270-20, a resolution of the City of Hannibal authorizing the mayor to accept and execute a general warranty deed and settlement agreement and release for the acceptance of donated property known as 314 South 7th Street, Hannibal, Missouri, to the city from Jacob Wayne Jordan. Councilmember McCoy?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Dobson?
Yes.
Councilmember Cogdell?
Yes.
Mayor Hark?
Yes.
Councilmembers Bowen
Yes.
and Welch.
Yes.
Declare Resolution 2270-20 duly approved and adopted on this day. We now have Resolution 2271-20. I need a motion to have the clerk read this resolution, call the roll for adoption.
So moved.
Second.
Motion is second. Any discussion? None. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's carried.
Resolution number 2271-20, a resolution of the City of Hannibal authorizing the mayor to accept and execute a general warranty deed and settlement agreement and release for the acceptance of donated property known as 514 Pine Street in Hannibal, Missouri, to the city from Donald and Shannon May. Councilmember McCoy?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Dobson? Yes. Councilmember Cogdell?
Yes.
Mayor Hart?
Yes.
Councilmembers Bowen
Yes.
and Welch.
Yes.
Declare Resolution 2271-20 duly approved and adopted on this day. We now have Resolution 2272-20. I need a motion to have the clerk read this resolution, call the roll for adoption.
So moved.
Motion is second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's carried.
Resolution number 2272-20, a resolution of the City of Hannibal authorizing the mayor to accept and execute a general warranty deed and settlement agreement and release for the acceptance, I have to take mine off, of donated property known as 1214 Lion, Hannibal, Missouri, to the city from Don Godley. Councilmember McCoy?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Dobson?
Yes.
Councilmember Cogdell?
Yes.
Mayor Hart?
Yes.
Councilmembers Bowen
Yes.
and Welch.
Yes.
I declare Resolution 2272-20 duly approved and adopted on this day. We now have Resolution 2273-20. I need a motion to have the clerk read this resolution and call the roll for adoption.
So moved.
Second.
Motion is second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's carried.
Resolution 2273-20, a resolution of the City of Hannibal authorizing the mayor to execute a special warranty deed between the city and Jason and Wendy Utterback to purchase city-owned property known as 1101 Sierra for the amount of $500 plus cost. Councilmember McCoy?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Dobson?
Yes.
Councilmember Cogdell?
Yes.
Mayor Hart?
Yes.
Councilmember Bowen
Yes.
and Welch.
Yes.
I declare Resolution 2273-20 duly approved and adopted on this day. We now have before us Resolution 2274-20. I need a motion to have the clerk read this resolution, call the roll for adoption.
So moved.
Second.
Motion is second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's carried.
Resolution number 2274-20, a resolution of the City of Hannibal authorizing the mayor to execute a special warranty deed between the city and Mark Blackwell to purchase city-owned property known as 1019 Valley for the amount of $500 plus cost. Councilmember McCoy?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Dobson?
Yes.
Councilmember Cogdell?
Yes.
Mayor Hart?
Yes.
Councilmembers Bowen
Yes.
and Welch.
Yes.
I declare Resolution 2274-20 duly approved and adopted on this day. We now have Resolution 2275-20. I need a motion to have the clerk read this resolution and call the roll for adoption.
So moved.
Second.
Motion is second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's carried.
Resolution number 2275-20, a resolution of the City of Hannibal authorizing the mayor to execute a special warranty deed between the city and Georgia Sherman and Caleb Nelson to purchase city-owned property known as 2301-1A Spruce for the amount of $500 plus cost. Councilmember McCoy?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Dobson?
Yes.
Councilmember Cogdell?
Yes.
Mayor Hark?
Yes.
Councilmembers Bowen
Yes.
and Welch.
Yes.
Declare Resolution 2275-20 duly approved and adopted on this day. We now have Resolution 2276-20. I need a motion to have the clerk read this resolution, call the roll for adoption.
So moved.
Second.
Motion is second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's carried.
Resolution number 2276-20, a resolution of the City of Hannibal authorizing the mayor to execute a contract for comprehensive recycling services with Northeast Missouri Sheltered Workshop, DBA Two Rivers Industries, to provide city recycling services. Councilmember McCoy?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Dobson?
Yes.
Councilmember Cogdell?
Yes.
Mayor Hart?
Yes.
Councilmembers Bowen?
Yes.
And Welch?
Yes.
I declare Resolution 2276-20 duly approved and adopted on this day. We now have Resolution 2277-20. I need a motion to have the clerk read this resolution, call the roll for adoption.
So moved.
Second.
Motion is second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion's carried.
Resolution number 2277-20, a resolution of the City of Hannibal authorizing the mayor to execute a third amended lease agreement with GM Cereal Property relative to the base rent for the use of city property located at 3752 Warren Barrett Drive in Hannibal. Councilmember McCoy?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Dobson?
Yes.
Councilmember Cogdell?
Yes.
Mayor Hart?
Yes.
Councilmembers Bowen?
Yes.
And Welch?
Yes.
I declare Resolution 2277-20 duly approved and adopted on this day. Council, now I'm requesting go into closed session in accordance with RSMO 610-021, paragraph 2. Admitting myself, council, city manager, city attorney, city clerk, Andy Dorian, and Corey Mahaffey.
Motion to go into closed session.
Second.
Motion second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's carried.
Councilmember McCoy?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Dobson?
Yes.
Councilmember Cogdell?
Yes.
Mayor Hart?
Yes.
Councilmembers Bowen?
Yes.
And Welch?
Yes.
Very good. Thank you, everyone, for attending, and for those who have to stay after. Yeah.
What is Montana Capital Equipment?